Hi, good afternoon. Everybody knows me as a school nurse. My name is Alexandria, and this afternoon I will be reading a Christmas book called Mortimer's Christmas. Okay, so in a big house lived a wee mouse named Mortimer. He dwelt in a dark hole under the stairs. See his little dark hole? And you see Mortimer here. Nobody ever noticed little Mortimer, and Mortimer liked it that way. But he didn't like his hole. It was too cold, too cramped, too creepy, squeaked little Mortimer. And there's my little Mortimer, looking for his new home. Each day he sneaked out and crept about looking for crumbs and tidbits, until one day Mortimer spied something new. What he spied was wonderful. He saw a huge tree covered with twinkling lights. Nestled on top was a bright shining star. But something even better than the tree itself sat next to it on the table. Mortimer sighed with delight. A house just my size. So here's the Christmas tree that Mortimer saw, and he spied a house just his size. So he was happy. But the house was so high, and Mortimer was so small. I'll climb up the tree, said Mortimer. It made a perfect ladder for a mouse. Up, 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 Mortimer climbed. Down, 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 the ornaments crashed. So as he was climbing up to his new house, he threw all the ornaments off the tree. Accidentally. Finally, he reached the table. Perfect, said Mortimer. Not cold, not cramped, not creepy, but cozy. But who are you? Mortimer had never seen people so small, almost as small as himself. He never had seen such strange animals either. This is Mortimer climbing up on the table, seeing some people his size. So he's never seen them, so he was a little shocked. So he goes up and he goes tap, tap, tap. Mortimer knocked, but no one answered. Tap, tap, tap. No one moved an inch. I see, Mortimer squeaked. You aren't real. Only statues. So you see, Mortimer mistook the statues from the manger as real people. And he realized they weren't real. And so Mortimer lugged and Mortimer tugged. One by one he dragged all the statues out. See? Taking the statues out of his new house that he found. When he reached the smallest statue, he saw it was a baby. A baby in a wooden bed, just Mortimer's size. There's no room for you here, Mortimer said. Out you go. Here he is, removing the baby from his new bed. Then into bed crawled Mortimer. He fell fast asleep in the soft, warm hay. Here's Mortimer sleeping in his new bed. The next day, as Mortimer crept about, he found good things to eat. Biscuit crumbs, fruit cake, and spicy peppermint sweets. But when Mortimer scampered back up to his new home, the statues were there again. See? Somebody put all the statues back in Mortimer's new house. So he was shocked. He said, "No, no, no. This won't do. There's no room for me." And so Mortimer lugged and he tugged until all the statues were out. "And stay out," he said. Then into bed crawled Mortimer. He fell fast asleep in the soft, warm hay. Here he is sleeping. But each day, while Mortimer scurried about, the statues were set up again. And then he would go and tug and lug them all back out. There he is again, taking all the statues out. Then one day, Mortimer set out and saw the big people gathered around the tree. They're all gathering around the tree. He couldn't go out there, so he hid among the statues. A man started talking. Mortimer listened, and what he heard was wonderful. "Since it is Christmas Eve, I shall tell the Christmas story," said the man. "A long time ago, in a little town called Bethlehem, Mortimer heard about people named Joseph and Mary and a bright shining star. He heard about shepherds watching their flocks by night and traveling wise men." The man continued, "And there was no room for them in the inn." Then Mortimer heard about a baby who was born in a stable and had no real bed but slept in a wooden manger. A baby born to save the world. "And the baby was called Jesus," said the man. Mortimer looked at the bright shining star on the tree. He looked at his new home and his new bed. He looked at the statues. Last of all, he looked at the baby. "I see," says Mortimer. "You aren't just any statue. You are a statue of baby Jesus." See? See Mortimer looking at baby Jesus in his creche. Mortimer sniffed and he snuffled. A tear rolled down his furry cheek. "There was no room for you in the inn, but I know where there is room," he said. And so Mortimer lugged and he tugged and soon dragged all the statues back to where they belonged. See? Last of all, he laid baby in the manger. "This belongs to you," he said. Mortimer smiled. "You look warm and cozy now." So now that Mortimer understood the whole story and why the statues were there in the first place, he decided to share it with them. Isn't that nice? There was no place for Mortimer to go back, except to go back to the cold, cramped, empty, creepy hole. As Mortimer scuttled down the tree, he said, "Now that baby Jesus has a place to sleep, maybe I can have a home too." And then Mortimer spied something new. What he spied was wonderful. Mortimer sighed with delight. A house just my size. There were no statues in sight. And so Mortimer moved right in. "Thank you, baby Jesus," said Mortimer. "You've made more room for me too." See? So this is the manger here, and Mortimer found a little, I think it's a gingerbread house that he will be staying in, and a table next to baby Jesus. So Mortimer was very happy to be baby Jesus's neighbor. And so the story ends and everybody was happy. Merry Christmas.